Their hearts are pounding as the riders are revving it up for our second qualifying heat, including Jeremy McGrath, Larry Ward, Tim Ferry, Greg Albertyn, Sebastian Tortelli, Jimmy Button, Ricky Carmichael. This field is loaded for the second qualifier.
There's about 9 guys in this heat race that could feasibly win it. Sign it sideways.
And let's take a listen to the sounds. And going flying off the track. Was it Jimmy Button? Yes, number 12, Jimmy Button in the 4-stroke, along with Greg Albertyn, number 7. They'll likely have to go to the semifinal round to make the main event here this evening in Anaheim. What disappointment for Jimmy Button on the 4-stroke Yamaha.
But out in front, while Jimmy Button tries to get that 4-stroke started back up, McGrath controls the race as he heads into the first triple.
Jeremy McGrath, who's won 4 consecutive races here before last year's defeat at the hands of Ezra Lusk, has Larry Ward, number 10, and his Chaparral Yamaha teammate, number 15, Tim Ferry, behind him in second and third.
It's interesting right now, in both practice sessions, Larry Ward jumped out right behind McGrath, studied everything. Here he is in the heat race behind him again.
Let's take another look at that start.
Well, I've never seen guys shoot off through the first corner the way they did. Had nowhere to go, went right off over the banking, through those tuck blocks.
Look to the
Button just had to go straight.
Yeah. Albertyn went flying over there too.
Carmichael just riding the very ridge of that, kind of floated right back into the racetrack. Heads up by him to not go over the top of that. If he had, he'd be last.
Yeah, Albertyn.
Looked like Albertyn got bumped, and then he went out and hit somebody else. It was just a domino.
Our leader, Jeremy McGrath, is dominating by a second a lap.
There's one of those little slips Davey talked about. He got out of that corner, tried to get on the power, and anytime you see a shiny spot out there, that's where it's real slick. And they're getting a yellow flag here over the triple. The riders are asked to take these jumps one at a time because there's a rider down.
It's Dustin Nelson from El Cajon, California. Number 4, Ricky Carmichael, is on the bubble. He has Shane King in front of him. He has to pass Shane King before he gets a chance at qualifying to the main event. McGrath, Larry Ward in first and second. Perry in third. And Carmichael gives a nice shove to move into the position.
And that's the result. King just found out how aggressive Ricky Carmichael really is.
Shane King from New Zealand won the championship down under. A little different class of racing, even though the Australian and New Zealand racers are getting better and better each year. As we take a look at Jeremy McGrath. Did he have his game face on before this race?
I'll tell you what, I haven't seen Jeremy look this serious since a while back. And he told me, he goes, you know, I'm feeling like I did when I was a rookie. I love this. I'm enthusiastic. I'm way ahead of where I was last year. The bike is perfect. It turns great. Obviously, he's got the power dialed in because he got the whole shot.
He looks in the best shape of his career. He's only something like 2 pounds more than he was in his first 2 seasons of action, and that's in spring.
He just turned 28. He said he's got to train quite a bit harder, more often, and watch his diet a little more than he used to. But he still thinks he has something for these kids, he called it.
We might have a battle on for second place now. Looking back is Larry Ward, and it's McGrath's new teammate, Tim Ferry, number 15, trying to take over second place. Ferry obviously has learned some tricks from Jeremy.
You know, it's really fun watching him in practice. He almost made that pass stick. Larry did a good job to close that line back off and keep his spot, but Jeremy had Ferry riding around behind him, and they'd stop and practice to start and talk about different sections of the racetrack. I'm sure Ferry is really getting a lot of help.
So our race action continues. Jeremy McGrath leading our second qualifying round. 4 more riders will advance to the main when we return.
Rated E.
Welcome back to Supercross at Anaheim. Jeremy McGrath dominating the second qualifying heat. He's never looked better.
Well, I think he's looked as good, though. The guy is just amazing. Right here, that whooped out double jump. He just rides right up through there the way Kevin was in the first heat, like they're not even there. He and Kevin are definitely in a class by themselves tonight. They get off together. We're in for a great battle.
Tim Ferry, his teammate, in second place. Larry Ward in third. Ricky Carmichael is in the final transfer spot. Here's number 4, and here's how he got there.
Comes in on the inside of Shane King on that big KTM. Tried to make that polite, but at the last second, it looked like he lost his balance, had to kind of give him an elbow. It sent King right off the racetrack. Ricky Carmichael is not messing around. A few things make him more angry than to be back in the pack, look across and see McGrath in the lead. He wants to beat him so bad.
White flag lap, final lap here in our second qualifying heat. One of the all-time great 125 riders, Ricky Carmichael, trying to adjust now to the 250s as we take a look at our leader, Jeremy McGrath. I've been impressed with Tim Ferry in this one as Jeremy takes time to salute the fans. A sellout crowd here in Anaheim for round number 1. Round number 2 next weekend is also expected to be a sellout here in the hotbed of Supercross and motocross racing in Southern California. The checkers for Jeremy. Jeremy McGrath looking so refined. Here's Carmichael. Number 21 is Sebastian Tortelli in 5th, the Frenchman for Team Honda. He's got his hands full. Can he hold on to the final transfer spot? Ricky Carmichael, number 4. This is an important one for him to build his confidence after a crash build last year in 250 Supercross. He gets the checkers, he gets the transfer. Tortelli goes to the semifinal round along with Jimmy Button, Greg Albertyn. Isn't it interesting that so many of the fine foreign riders who come over here tonight to begin the Supercross round will have to go to the semifinals? Villeman, King, Tortelli, and Albertyn. In our second qualifying heat, Jeremy McGrath, Tim Ferry, Larry Ward, Ricky Carmichael, all transferring now to the main event. 8 riders have qualified. Let's go down to Davey Coombs.
Jeremy, I know that was only your opening statement, but man, what an exclamation point.
Well, Davey, I've had a lot of time off, a lot of time to think about what I was doing over the summer. And, you know, I started riding in September, and I wasn't so sure. I was kind of shaky, crashing a lot, and we've been working hard. I have Gary Simics back out here with me to train with me, and he's been out here for 6 weeks now. And I think my mental confidence is definitely back.
Well, David Maley made the comment that you already look as good as you ever have. You got your fighting weight down. You're riding like this is the middle of April.
Yeah, you know, the last couple of years, notoriously, I haven't been a great starter in the beginning of the season. I kind of get the ball rolling, and then I finally pick it up in the middle. And I'd like to bring back the old Jeremy McGrath and try and win the races right off from the beginning.